Good morning, good morning, good morning. Happy Monday, everybody. Happy Monday. Oh, how are you doing? I am just back from a run, hence the sweatiness. I hope you have had a good morning so far. It's only 8 o'clock. It is June the 26th, 2023, another non-refundable day. And I just wanted to pop on like usual. I usually come on a Monday, try and give a little bit of motivation, maybe a little bit of inspiration, maybe something that you can take into your day if you're struggling or, you just need a little bit of something to get you going on this Monday morning. Morning, Diana Nash, my boo. Good morning. Good morning. I'm live anyway over on Facebook and Instagram and where else? Don't know where else. But as usual, I'm normally here at 8 o'clock on a Monday and several times throughout the week. So I just wanted to pop on this morning. I'm just back from Portugal late last night. You look beautiful. Thank you, Diana. Look at me. I'm just a hot, sweaty mess. I'm just back from a run. And it's so warm here. The whole time I've been on holiday in Portugal, it's been bloody lovely here. Is that like a bit annoying? Does that annoy you? Because it annoyed me. It's like you go on holiday to get this great weather, only to find out that the summer has arrived in England. But I had a wonderful time. So yes, let me do my glasses again. It's because I'm just recovering from this run. Anyway, how are you doing today? That's the most important thing. How are you, most importantly? Have you even checked in with yourself? Have you asked yourself, how am I doing today? It should be the first question that comes into your mind. As I say, it starts with you, right? So it has to start with you. As soon as the day is dawned and you open your eyes, check in with yourself, see how you're doing mentally, emotionally, and physically, and even spiritually. Where are you at? Because quite often we go through our day and somebody will say, "Oh, how are you?" And you'll just go, "Okay." And I just spoke to the guy in the shop across the road and I said, "How are you?" And I always, we always have a little chat. He went, "Okay." And instead of just leaving it there, I went, "Are you really okay?" And then we had a little conversation. He's like, "Yeah, it's busy and, the weather and it's hot." And so we had a little chat. Because we're quite if we don't check in with ourselves, people might check in with us throughout the day, but it's one of those things we don't really think about. We just go, "Yeah, I'm okay." We don't really give a lot of thought to. So you really need to check in with yourself, and because you're the greatest solution for you. You're the one that truly knows how you're feeling emotionally, mentally, and physically and spiritually. And it has to start with you there. And then thinking, okay, what do I need today? I'm not feeling so mentally strong today, or I'm not feeling so emotionally well today. And then you can think, okay, what do I need? This is the greatest form of self-love and self-care, whatever you want to call it. And you can then think about, what do I need to go about to get what I need? What needs improving? Maybe there's nothing. Maybe you've woken up and you just feel a bit tired. So you probably know that I might need a bit of extra rest today, a little bit of something to give me some energy. So how am I going to preserve energy? How am I going to give myself the opportunity to rest? Whatever it is, it's that check-in for yourself. It's a personal daily inventory of yourself. Like we do it for our friends, right? Let's do it for ourselves. So it starts with you as soon as you open your eyes. And today, also just to mention that the Happy Place podcast is out today with Fern Cotton. I hope that you go and check it out. I'll put there's some links already on my Instagram. Go check out the Happy Place official on Instagram. The podcast is linked there and on all good podcasting platforms. It's an episode to celebrate 100 million downloads of the podcast, which is bonkers, right? Like 100 million. I can't even quantify that. I can't even think about that number. And they asked people, Diana, I'm feeling so full of love and gratitude today. Yeah, me too. I'm like, really, I woke up this morning and I went to sort of do a little bit of work, and I thought, oh, let me see if the podcast is out. And it was out. So I laid in bed at 5 a.m. this morning and listened to the whole podcast. And I got to listen to my part of it last week. So I had already heard it. And I spoke to Fern for about 45 minutes. That has been condensed into 15. So there's a lot of gaps and a lot of editing. And there's 3 people that are on that episode. I'm the first one up. I hope that it is enough to help you keep going and listen to the other people's stories, to Matt and to Mel's. And I don't put you off. Don't let my bit put you off. Listen to the rest of it, because it's incredible. And so it's been highly edited. Of course it would be. Most of those podcasts are. We did have a long conversation, which was really wonderful. Fern is super lovely. And I will be at the Happy Place Festival on July the 16th. So if you go in, please come say hi. And next year I will be, speaking there or doing some breathwork there. I'm not entirely sure what yet. I hope to be speaking and doing breathwork. I want to do both. So that'll be next year. But this year I'm just going to be there as an invited guest, which is wonderful. So yeah, go listen to the podcast today. Let me know what you think. I am going to do a longer version of my story. I cried this morning when I listened to that message. Listen to it, Diana. That's what I was saying. Like, when I first heard it, I didn't cry when I listened to it last week, and then I was laid in bed this morning and I listened to the whole thing, Fern's introduction, and I read the show notes and everything. And yeah, when I listened to it today, I did cry. And I think it was kind of like joy in a weird way. I'm incredibly proud of myself for doing it. And yeah, just putting it out there. And I hope, my hope is, why do we do these things? And I think that's a good question you can ask yourself, and we could all ask ourselves. If you might ask somebody to say, what do you want? And we say all these things that we want, but we, why are we want that? Why do we do that? Why do we want to do that? Like, somebody might say to me, why do you want to be on that podcast? Why did you put yourself forward? And I guess, we're all probably hoping to get something out of the things that we want, right? That's why we want them. Like, we want to feel good. We, for me, doing the podcast and telling my story and being a life coach and doing all this stuff is, it helps me. It's that win-win thing, but it's to have impact on other people. I really struggle when people are not living as best a life as they can, and they just have this mediocre existence. They're living an okay existence, or it just feels like enough. And I think, we can't feel happy and joyful and thriving all the time, but I think that we can feel that way most of the time. And when I see people struggling, and I've struggled many times in my life and I've come out the other side of it, I just want to help people to thrive, to feel like life is really running through their veins. And that's how I feel. So most people ultimately want to feel free. They want to feel happy, be heard and understood by others. We all want that, right? And I just hope that, one person hears that. And especially the bit where I talk about 20 minutes. I always get emotional when I talk about those 20 minutes. That it makes somebody think, and I used to get through that time in 20-minute segments when I was really at my darkest. And that's how I had to break down life. And now, life is wonderful and I'm thriving, and you can too if you're struggling. So I think that's, if one person gets something from that and thinks twice, or goes and gets some support or some help, or reaches out even to me, then it will have been worth doing it. And I have my own podcast called It Starts With You, obviously. And I'm going to do a full length episode of my story, because a lot of that, Fern and I spoke about a lot of other things. And I want those things to be heard as well. So I'm going to record an episode around all of that stuff. which will be a kind of like the full version of Happy Place, but on my podcast. And yeah, anyway, I'm going to do that probably by the end of the month. So yeah, so maybe it's, today is thinking about, why are you doing what you're doing? Asking yourself that question. What do you hope to get out of what you're doing? The things that you want, the things that you're chasing. Like, I have things that I'm chasing, and dreams. And, I've asked myself that question. Why am I doing that? Even doing the Happy Place podcast. But actually, to be honest, I wrote the email very quickly. I didn't think about it. It just came from my heart. And I never really I didn't doubt that I wanted to do it. I had this self-doubt that, was I good enough to do it? That's like imposter syndrome, right? We all get that. So whatever it is you want to do, ask yourself, what are you doing that for? What is it that you're hoping to get out of it? And I think most of us want to be heard, to be seen. Hey, Remy, freedom and happiness and all those things comes in our choices. And we think that the things out there are going to give us a different feeling, a different emotion, but that is already within you, and it's already in the choices that you make. A lot of people feel like they don't have any choices to make, but that's just something we just help attach ourselves to. Most of the time, we don't want to make those choices or those decisions because we don't want to deal with the consequences of those decisions. It might make life a little bit more uncomfortable when this brain of ours wants to keep us safe and comfortable. And this whole world that surrounds us is teaching us, oh, this make your life easier, quicker, faster, smoother, which I'm not sure is always a good thing, because it's the internal stuff, the inside, it's the tale that's going on inside of you, that really, and the choices that you make. So yeah, ask yourself that today. Why am I doing what I'm doing? What am I hoping to get out of it? And be really honest. Is it freedom? Is it happiness? Whatever it is. And always just bring that back to the present moment, because this is the only moment you've got, and you have no other moment. And as I said on the podcast, and as I say pretty much every day, this is your first day, your last day. It's your only day. It's not just another day. It is your only day. You might not make it into tomorrow, and yesterday is gone. That's history. Don't bring it into today. That shit from yesterday, leave it there. It's gone. Today is your only day. And what will you do with it? What choices will you make? So yeah, that's me for a Monday. Please go check out the Happy Place podcast episode out today. It's on Instagram. Like and comment and share it on Instagram. I would be really grateful. And also really grateful to know your thoughts around it. Like I said, it's a very edited version of a 45-minute conversation, and the full version in terms of the other things that I think I shared with Fern. I will be creating my own episode on my It Starts With You podcast that will be out in July, and so you'll get to hear, because I really want to share a lot more around the lessons that I've learned, some of the wisdom that's come around from the things that I speak about on Happy Place. And hopefully I'll get to do that at the festival when I speak there next year. Yeah, so I really just want to get more of that across. So I'll be sharing some of that probably on these platforms as well as on the podcast over the next few weeks. Right. Have yourself a great day. Do not forget, it's a non-refundable day, just like every other single freaking day. What are you going to do with it? You cannot get today back. It's June the 26th, 2023. How will you live? How do you intend to live? What's your intention for today? Because you cannot get to the end of the day and think, that was shit, I want to do that again. There is no go around. There is no run around. There is no recycling of today. Give it your best shot. It doesn't mean, pretending all is well when it's not well. I did that around 2019, 2020 for my family. I tried to put on a brave face. I don't think I did a very good job of it. They knew I was suffering and struggling. But I think you're just putting a lid on the boiling pot. So reach out if you need support. There is always somebody, I believe, that's willing to help. Always. Have yourself a great day, and I will speak to you all very soon.